Okay, David. Question number two is looking to a broader scope and look at the SEC. Is there anything that you would change with the conference?
Absolutely. Going with the conference. Give me nine conference games. Mark, you and I have talked enough. I am tired. I hate cupcake games. There's too many of them in college football. My Gators have been known to play their fair share of cupcake games as well as many other teams around the nation and in the SEC. Get rid of the cupcake games and go to nine conference games. I miss Florida and Auburn playing the way they used to back in the day before the SEC kind of realigned and in the early 2000s when Florida and Auburn was no longer an annual game. That was the biggest rivalry behind Georgia for Florida in the SEC. I miss seeing that game. I grew up with that game. They had some classic games in the 90s, and every game just seemed to have a lot riding on it. And that was a game I miss, and that was a game I'd like to see more. In a way to see it more would be nine conference games. And I'd like to, I like when SEC teams play each other. I don't like the SES games and when they go and play your lower tier FBS games. It's just that's one thing for the SEC I'd like to see change. Yes, I know it makes it tougher. Yes, I know you kick yourself at making the college football playoff, but you can recover from it. You can go into the playoff with one loss, maybe even two. It's getting there. So in the SEC, they're known as the toughest conference. This past season, one of the toughest conferences in college football. But give me nine conference games because I would just like to watch one more game this season where it means more.
And you're right, David. I think based on the interactions that we've had out there, that most people that root for SEC football are like, I'm good with the 8 conference games. We want to get to the college football playoff. But you know what? Before people jump to that conclusion, let the SEC miss a college football playoff first. Let's see that happen first, because I think because of the caliber of play and the reputation, the conference is going to be given the benefit of the doubt until otherwise is proven. So if we're looking at college football, David, in general, what would you change out there?
It's kind of an extension off of what I just said. I would get rid of FBS versus FCS games. There's no need for it. I know FCS schools kind of build their program around the money they get from these FBS schools that they bring in when they play each other. But as I just mentioned, I hate the cupcake games. I hate the 56-0 blowouts. The 49-10 games. There's nothing. There's nothing from it, especially late in the season when the teams are playing in November and you're winding down college football season and you have these games the week before you play your big rival. And, it's a game you could really care less about. Yes, it's football. And yes, it's sandwiched usually in between an SEC game and your biggest rival at the end of the season. But that's not just the SEC. Other conferences and teams do it. There's just a few select out there that don't play SES schools. But there's not a lot comes from it. Yes, your younger players get time. And yes, a lot of schools wrap their senior day around it. And the seniors that don't get a lot of playing time at the end of the year, they finally get up some playing time. But that was just one thing I don't like about college football and I had to get rid of is the FBS versus FCS.